So today, I just, you know, I've been thinking today. I've been thinking. Actually, not today, but I've thought about this for. It's been a while since I've been thinking about this, and that is, you know, like how, as South Africans, the way we've been living, like after apartheid, not actually after, probably during as well, but like we've moved from our African ways. What I mean by our African ways is that the way that we grew up is, you know, back home in the village, you were taught to, okay, not, okay, I wasn't taught to do that, but I mean, I did help my grandmother here and there in the garden, but during their time, okay, so they would work in the garden, have their own sheep and cattle, you know, like farm life. They would do that. They would create their own wealth, you know. So they were taught to live like that. And then when apartheid came, they became slaves. And then they sort of had to, in their upbringing, teach us to a life, or like their teaching would sort of like have an undertone of that sort of slavery, like teaching us, not saying teaching us to be slaves, but like, for example, go look for a job. Nothing wrong with looking for a job, but their parents would teach them to make their own living, build their own house, do their own things. Not that we are not taught to build our own houses and do our own thing, but what I mean is that that mentality now, like that South Africans would have, that, oh, I need to look for a job. Government must give me a job. Yes, government teaches people to look for jobs. But we don't have to do everything the government says. I mean, in our country, we have to be creating jobs. And that's not what we're doing. We're looking for jobs. But in order for us to get jobs, we have to make them. If we don't make them, we don't have them. Because the government will not be able to create a job for everyone. Because the government gets money from the businesses that we have. So when we have businesses, that's how they are able to create the jobs. So what is needed here is not government creating jobs for people. It's us creating jobs for our country. For instance, in the Bible, when the Israelites were out of slavery from Egypt, they had to start afresh. They had absolutely nothing. They had to rebuild everything. And that's what we had to do after apartheid. After apartheid, we were promised things, but we were not supposed to live to the promises of government. We were supposed to live on our own promises, to build our land, to build our country, to build. That was our job. And I think I kind of understand, because in a sense that in South Africa, the way we lived, we were not building cities. Our way of living was not building cities. That was kind of like a Western thing, to build cities. So, but now that's what we have to do. We have to build ourselves, not the government. The government is there to help us, yes. But the first thing that we should do as citizens is to make sure we build. We need to build our country. Our country is already taken over by other countries, but we need to be the ones who are taking over our own country. We are the ones who should build. We are the ones who should invest whatever is left of South Africa. We can. It all depends on what we think and what is on our minds. What is our vision for our country? If we had a proper vision of what we as citizens are going to do after apartheid, we need to have a vision of where we want our country to be. Individually, we need to work for our country. not just wake up in the morning and go to work, but work for our country, for benefiting our country, helping each other, loving each other. So yeah, those are my thoughts for today, guys. See you next time. Ciao, ciao.